Hi everybody, today is September 18th, 2013. Obama waives ban on army terrorists to allow aid to Syrian opposition. President Obama waived a provision of federal law designed to prevent the supply of arms to terrorist groups to clear the way for the U.S. to provide military assistance to vetted opposition groups fighting Syrian dictator Bashar Assad. Some elements of the Syrian opposition are associated with a radical Islamic terrorist group, including Al-Qaeda, which this article claims was responsible for the September 11th attack in New York, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania in 2001. Assad regime is backed by Iran and Hezbollah. The president, citing his authority under the Arms Export Control Act, so much for the UN trying to rear in on arms being sold, even trying to take away the guns that we own as citizens here in the United States, announced today he would waive the prohibitions in Section 40 and 40A of the AECA related to such transactions. How much you want to bet that Fast and Furious himself, Eric Holder, will be a part of this? Those two sections prohibit sending weaponry to countries described in Section 40D. The prohibition contained in this section apply with respect to a country if the Secretary of State determines that the government of that country has repeatedly provided support for acts of international terrorism. I think the United States would fall under that. Congress stated in the Arms Control Export Act. For purpose of this subsection, such acts shall include all activities that the Secretary determines willfully aid or abet the international proliferation of nuclear explosive devices, well, that's interesting, to individuals or groups, or willfully aid or abet a individual or group in acquiring unsafeguarded specific nuclear material, the law continues. The law allows the President to waive those prohibitions if he determines that the transaction is essential to the national security interests of the United States. I shudder at what this is implicating. Under Section 40G of the AECA, the Obama team must also provide Congress at least 15 days before turning over the weapons, the name of any country involved in the proposed transaction, the identity of any recipient of the items to be provided pursuant to the proposed transaction, and the anticipated use of those items along with the list of the weaponry to be provided, when they will be delivered, and why the transfer is key to American security interests. Do you think that the excuse "because I say so" from Obama is going to be good enough? And then it goes on to say, which is a joke, our intelligence agency, I think, have a very good handle on who to support and who not to support, Coker said. And there's going to be mistakes. Well, at least they admit that there's going to be mistakes, just like our Border Patrol agents who were killed by the guns that Eric Holder sent. Just like Benghazi, where them collecting the weapons turned around and bit them in the butt. We understand some people are going to get arms and that some not getting arms. But we should be doing everything we can to support the free Syrian opposition. National Security Council spokesman Catelyn Hayden issued the following statement concerning the President's actions with regard to waiving certain controls on military aid in the Syrian crisis. This action will allow the U.S. government to provide or license, where appropriate, certain non-lethal assistance inside or related to Syria. This includes chemical weapons-related personnel protective equipment to international organizations, including the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons for the conduct of their operations, chemical weapons-related life-saving assistance for organizations implementing Department of State or U.S. Agency for International Development, programs to strengthen local Syrian healthcare providers' ability to prepare for and respond to any use of chemical weapons, and defensive chemical weapons-related training and personnel protective equipment to select vetted members of the Syrian opposition, including the Supreme Military Council, to protect against the use of chemical weapons. This action is part of the long-standing and ongoing effort to provide life-saving chemical weapons-related assistance to people in need in Syria. Right. How many of you remember the NATO trucks that were delivering some kind of special weapons that they burned up on purpose to hide the evidence? The evidence of what they were carrying. Alright, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you there. God bless you. Bye.